Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. So today's our first meeting. We will be talking about our course syllabus. And without so much ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share my screen. Okay. So our subject, ladies and gentlemen, is CDI2C, Traffic Management and Accident Investigation with Driving. So in this course, you will be required to learn how to drive. So you should have a driver's certificate aside from our lecture. So course syllabus for first trimester school year 2023-2024. This subject is a 3-unit lecture. I'm your instructor, and you can contact me on klbaoyan at uc-bcf.edu.ph. So based on CMO5 series of 2018, this subject, this subject's course description should be as follows. So the course covers processes of traffic management, the agencies regulating transportation and traffic facilities and control devices. So it includes here the LTO, LTFRB, the PNP, HPG, and so on and so forth. The elements of traffic management, traffic administration, traffic law enforcement, the traffic violations, and traffic accident investigation. So these subjects prerequisite are Criminology 1 and CDI 1. So CDI 1 is Fundamentals of Criminal Investigation. Criminology 1 is Introduction to Criminology. So this is a face-to-face and or ODL subject. So we have here the course content. So we will be discussing the history of transportation, motor vehicles, and locomotives in the Philippines and in other countries. We will be also dealing with the development of road, the development of traffic lights, and other road safety requirements and traffic control and devices. Excuse me. Aha. Aside from that, we also have here traffic administration, the traffic policy making on how they do traffic policy, and program development. We have here traffic management, traffic program implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and reporting. It includes here traffic law enforcement, road intelligence, road clearing operations, detection of violators, apprehension of violators, and adjudication of that violator with appropriate penalty. So, if his violation involves a criminal act such as uh, vehicular traffic accident resulting or reckless imprudence resulting in multiple physical injuries with damage to property, yan, may kulong yan kung hindi niya masisettle yung civil aspect of the case. We also have here, what do we have here? We have to discuss RA 4136 and related issuances about driver's license and permits, motor vehicle conduction permit, the license plate including special, vanity, and government official plates registration and its renewal. We will be also talking about traffic violations under RA 4136 and other related laws. The driver's license related violations, RA 10586, RA 10913, RA 154, RA 8750 or 8730. The motor vehicle related violations, RA 8749, violations related to load, weight, and dimension. So, yan yung mapag-usapan natin. Yung sinasabi nyo, overloading, oversize. We have here other violations such as prohibited parking, disregarding of traffic signs, traffic lights, and other control devices, allowing passenger on top cover or the what you call top load. That's the violation. Failure to provide canvas cover to cargos. Yan, for trucks, especially for trucks, dapat may canvas cover. Permitting passengers to ride on running board, step board, or mudguard. In Tagalog, yan po yung sasabi nating sabit. Yan, sumasabit. Failure to dim lights when approaching another vehicle. So, violation din po yan. If a vehicle is approaching towards us, we must not use our high beam. Hitching or permitting a person to hitch. Ito pala yung sabit. Yan. Hitching or permitting a person to hitch or permitting a bicycle, motorcycle, tricycle, or skate roller to hitch to a motor vehicle. We also have here counterflow. We have here illegal U-turn, right-of-way rule, speed limits, and the rule on overtaking. So we will be dealing with all of those in this course. Traffic accident investigation is included with collision investigation, head-on collision, or head-rear collision. We also have side swipe. So collision. Reconstruction and causes of accident. So when we say reconstruction, we have to reconstruct on how the vehicular traffic accident transpired. Okay. And we also have to deal with or to determine the causes of such accident. Sorry. So a part of our topic will be the driver's license, registration of vehicle, load of vehicle, condition of the vehicle, speed limits, condition of the driver. So bawal ang lasing, intoxicated. Bawal ang nakadroga, illegal na droga. Classification of road, traffic signs, the weather condition, road condition, and things or marks on the road. We have here tire marks, skid marks, skip skid, gaps in skid, scuff marks, tire tread imprint, acceleration marks, debris, testimonies of witnesses, drivers and passengers, and we have to establish the chain of events and the key event of the collision. So next to that is the applicable legal principles or laws in relation to traffic accident. We have here the last clear chance, the state of necessity, the insurance law, the civil liabilities, franchise, revocation or suspension of driver's license, and applicable penal laws covered by the RPC or special laws. And part of this subject is the crafting or drafting, of a traffic accident investigation report for insurance claim and traffic accident investigation report for filing of appropriate charges. And also, aside from the filing of the appropriate charges, uh, we know for a fact that all witnesses must also testify in court in relation to their affidavits and the evidence. Yan. So we will be also dealing with hit and run investigation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here our grading system. Your midterm grade is composed of 50% of your class standing plus 50% of your exam. Now, your class standing includes the result or your input in your quizzes, your assignment, recitation, homework, and projects. Okay? So, whatever will come up with that 50% class standing plus 50% exam, it will become your midterm grade. Now, we also have, after the midterms, we will also have your final tentative grade, computed just the same with the midterm grade. It is 50% of your class standing plus 50% of your exam. That's your tentative final grade or raw final grade. Now, how do we compute now your final grade? When we say final grade, this will be the grade that will be uploaded into your portal. Yan. So, it is computed in this manner. It is 50% of your midterm grade and 50% of your final grade. So, if you had an average of 75, then you're good to go. You passed. But if you have an average of, let's say, for example, 74.74, do you think it passed? Ladies and gentlemen, in your board exam, 74.99 cannot be rounded off. Kung yun ang lumabas sa result ng board exam nyo, bagsak kayo. Bagsak po yun. So, note, ladies and gentlemen, we have here, class standing is composed of quizzes, assignment, recitation, class participation, especially in group activities, among others which are necessary to assess the performance of the students. So scores are transmuted to an equivalent grade where a score of at least 50% would be minimum to get a passing grade of 75. So, mas okay yung grading system nyo. Means to say, in every 100 items exam or quizzes, you should have at least 50% to have a 75 grade. Sa amin nun, parang zero base eh. In every 100 items quiz or exam, we should attain 75 for us to have a 75 grade, just the same. So we have here the course policies, ladies and gentlemen. As a criminology student, nurture the tradition of discipline and respect at any time and place, especially when the eyes of the public are at the witness of your acts. So, in short, you should live as an example. You are future law enforcers, not a law violator. You must observe proper haircuts and grooming and appropriate attire before joining online discussion or interactions. Not only online discussions but only face-to-face. Mas lalo yung face-to-face. You must not use vulgar words or any inappropriate manners that might distract the attention of the instructor or any member of the class. Because if any member of your class is distracted, likewise, your instructor may also be distracted. You should refrain from allowing other people, not a member of this class, to distract or pop in the screen during online classes, especially during interactions. And ladies and gentlemen, iwasan nyo rin yung itutok nyo yung camera, tapos mamaya hindi kayo aware sa background nyo, CR pala yung background nyo, mamaya may lumabas doon, naka bat towel. Oh. Yan, magre-react talaga yung mga classmates nyo dyan. Okay, so you should be aware of where you position your camera in terms of online classes. You should refrain from allowing other people not a member of this class to distract. Yan nga. And likewise, ladies and gentlemen, you are not allowed or permitted to relay or send or forward to any person not a member of this class our links of our notes, links of our online classes, and especially our notes mismo, yan notes natin. Bawal nyo ibigay yan sa hindi member ng klase natin. Kung ano yung sa atin lang. You should be responsible enough to comply and submit all requirements in your subject. And you should submit all requirements within the allotted time compliance. And shall bear in mind that the quality of your learning output will be the basis of your grade or scope in particular activity. So, in Tagalog, aanhin mo pa ang damo kung patay na ang kabayo. So, when we say when I instructed you to submit it on or before this specific date, you have to submit it on that date. Otherwise, it will not be given credit. Now, you might want to ask, Sir, ma'am, how about those persons who are absent but with valid reason? It depends. We will be discussing those uh, validly excused students. Okay? So you should submit all requirements within allotted time. You should do your sheet or assignments yourself and observe the ethics of scholarship. You may discuss your work with each other, for example, during online study sessions or in a study group off schedule. Means to say off schedule. Instead of you having a rumor with your classmate, why don't you talk about your subject, about your lesson? Diba? Kesa chismis dito, chismis doon, at least natututo kayo. Sana kung yun ang pinag-uusapan nyo with your classmate. You must avoid plagiarism. So, yeah, what is plagiarism? It is the act of copying in toto statements from authors of book and any materials without acknowledging the original or the author. Yan. And other forms of unlawful acts defined under the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines. So take note of the rules, law on copyright infringement. So bawal nyo ipa-photocopy yung buong libro. Kung may libro kayong gusto, bilhin nyo. Bawal ipa-photocopy, otherwise you can be held liable for in violation of this law. Yan. Copyright infringement. If you borrow or use an idea from another source, meaning someone other than yourself, be sure to cite that source or sources. Enclose quoted material in a quotation mark or use italics and write the source. Okay? Parang thesis lang. But as much as possible, paraphrase. Do not leave it in toto or as it is. Paraphrase it. Reword it. Acknowledge sources and make a bibliography of them at the end of your assignment following the APA or the American Psychological Association guidelines. Now, if you don't know the APA format, you can consult this website, http owl.english.purdue.edu /owl /owl /resource /560/01/ for the APA formats. Now, however, this can be applied only when the activity allows citation such as researches of bases or references. But those activities that require comprehensions where answers must be based on the discussion and understandings, borrowing from other ideas are not allowed. So in quizzes, identification, or essay, you are not allowed to, of course, research on net your answer. You have to answer it on your own. And of course, thus, it does not require APA format. Siyempre, galing mismo sa inyo yan eh. Hindi nang galing sa ibang tao. Now, however, this can be applied only when the activity allows citation of bases, references, but those activities that require comprehensions, where answers must be based on discussion and understandings, borrowing from other ideas are not allowed. You should respect the authority of your instructor in delivering the program of your subject. Don't act like you know everything. Baka dyan pa kayo mamalas. Instead na pure discussion lang, biglang quiz kagad. If you have personal concerns or concern arising from this subject, contact your instructor through a private message and observe respect in your queries or response. Participate actively in each discussion to maximize your learning. Bakit? Kasi gaya nga ng sabi nila, if you listen attentively, you learn. If you take down notes, you learn more than those who only listen. Now, here comes the best part. If you listen and you take down notes and you share what you have learned to others, the more you retain your learning. Yan. So, you have to discuss with your classmate your learnings. Now, try hard to follow the course syllabus. We must follow the syllabus, and likewise, if you have time, do an advanced reading. Refrain from unnecessary absences. The only validly excused students are those, first is, whose immediate family member or members are critically ill or has just died. Hindi naman sana, di ba? Pero in case lang. Yun lang yung mga valid na excuse. Pagka ikaw, estudyante, hindi naka-attend sa klase, ang dahilan mo ay dahil may relative ka, immediate relative sabi dito, immediate lang. Immediate relative na malubhang kalagayan, critical, na kailangan bantayan, you can be excused. Or an immediate family member of yours has just died. So, pwedeng mama mo, papa mo, kapatid mo, or anak mo kung may asawa ka. Pero pagka umabsent ka dahil yung lolo mo namatay, hindi yun katanggap-tanggap. Marami namang mas dapat mag-attend doon kesa sa'yo. Yan. You shall not sacrifice your class. Second is working students, scholars, or athletes who are representing the institution, University of the Cordilleras, or the country in a interdepartmental, provincial, regional, national, international activities or competitions. So if you are a student or scholar or an athlete who absented himself during class activity, you may be excused provided that you had attended and represented the institution or the country, Philippines, in an interdepartmental, provincial, regional, national, or international competition. So what would be the attachment to this? Your excuse letter and your letter order from your coach or your handler. And best is if you have a picture or a video of such activity. With your face, of course. Yan. So, pwede natin panoorin yan. How about the first instance? So, pag namatayan ka ng immediate family member mo, what would be the attachment? Of course, the death certificate, aside from your excuse letter. How about kung hindi ka naman namatayan? Critically ill lang yung isang immediate family member mo. So, what would be the proof? Aside from your excuse letter, you should attach there a medical certificate of your immediate family member. And third type of excused students are those students who were confined or isolated for medical reasons. So pagka kayo mismo ay na-involve, nagkasakit ng malubha, nagkasakit or na-confine, you can be excused. So you just have to present your excuse letter, attach the medical certificate. Always have an attachment or proof. Otherwise, your plain excuse letter without attachment will not be accepted. Okay? So, submit activity sheets on or before their due dates. Sabi ko na kanina yan. You will be duly informed and reminded about the deadline of each activity sheet. The activity sheet will be accepted provided there is a valid reason for the delay with corresponding appropriate attachment or proof. So, yan yung sinasabi natin kanina, yung excuse ka. However, they cannot be awarded the highest possible score. So, yun lang. If you were excused, you may submit your paper, I may accept it, but you can never ever have a high score. Yan. It's only for the purpose that you will not get zero on that specific activity. So as much as possible, don't submit or inhibit yourself from submitting out of time. It will not be accepted unless you are excused. Always keep a duplicate copy of your activity sheet in your files just in case you need to resubmit them, especially if they are lost in transit. There is a technical glitch. I had encountered a student before. Sabi niya, nasubmit niya yung activity niya online. Chinek namin yung received files ko, wala talaga. Chinek din namin yung sent items niya, nawala. So, means to say, hindi niya talaga nasubmit. Pero may pinapakita siya, sir, baka wala akong signal nung sinend ko. Pero nung pinakita niya sa akin yung file niya, we checked its metadata, it was created by that specific computer and within that specific time kung kailan ko naman pinagawa. So what I did is I considered it but half grade lang, half point lang. It cannot have a high score. Students are prohibited from going to computer shops unless it is allowed by the advisory from IETF or the government authority. Any forms of cheating in online classes. So, how do you cheat in online classes? When we say, switch on your camera, meron yung iba gumagamit. They use a GIF image na parang andun yung mukha nila. Parang nakikita natin na nakikinig. Pero GIF pala yun na ginawang background. So that's a form of cheating. Cheating in quizzes, assignment, or exams are prohibited. Cheating includes but are not limited to the following. So non-obedience to instructions. The mere fact that you have disobeyed an instruction, it is tantamount already to cheating. Requesting to turn off camera or usage of GIF as background during online discussions is cheating. Saving, sending, or receiving a screenshot or picture of the questions or answers during online quizzes is not permitted. That's a form of cheating. Opening of a separate browser to search for the answer during online exam or online quiz is likewise not permitted. I'm using a sensitive program for online exam that when you open a separate browser, it detects and it closes. You can never ever submit your exam. Wag kayong mag-attempt. In case. Usage of the chat GPT. Whenever we require you to do an essay, don't make use of the chat GPT. Group answering in quizzes or exams, which are supposedly individual, is a form of cheating. And having someone to do the homework or assignment or quiz or exam for you is also a form of cheating. Now, you know what happens to a detected act of cheating, right? You can be, your exam, quiz, or activity will be automatically void. You will not earn any point from it. Always adhere to protocols that are being implemented by the government. Yan. Likewise, avoid wearing uniform and going to the bar, tapos magiinuman kayo. Mamaya, may makorsonada kayo doon, makipagbugbugan, makipag-away kayo. Imbis na kayo, criminology, ang force multiplier ng police, kayo nag-initiate ng gulo. That's a no-no. Okay? So ensure that proper discipline is always being observed. Any concerns, please contact me, your advisor, or you may refer to the Criminology Organization President, the college advisor, or to the college dean, Dr. Robino Kawi. So it's the students who makes their grade. So it's you, ladies and gentlemen, who make your own grade. It's you who make your own future. The output is irrevocable. So whatever score you make on each and every activity is irrevocable. Wala na tayong magagawa dyan. Any attempt to bargain is forbidden. Especially so, pagka nakita nyo yung final grade nyo, ay 74.1. Makiusap nga ako sa instructor. I will never ever entertain you. Okay? So, kung may balak pala kayong mag-homework, pag-assignment, mag-special activity, mag-recite. Isa na ginawa nyo na during the discussion. Hindi kung kailan tapos na yung SEM, na-submit nyo yung grade nyo, saka kayo lalapit-lapit. No. It's a no-no. So we have here synchronous sections house rule. You should wear your uniform during scheduled online discussions. You should prepare yourself and all the needed materials before attending online interactions. So what are these needed materials? It includes the following: the syllabus, your books, if you have, your handouts, and your notebook and pen. Always take down notes because some of my statement might not be on your book, especially the explanation of each content of such references. So we have here the house rule during Zoom or Google Meet discussion. First is you have to find a good location that will avoid any distraction to the lecturer and other viewers. Okay? So you should avoid any distraction. Look for a convenient place. Parang ako, ito na yung pinaka-convenient na lugar ko. Hindi siya good for class instruction. Pero ito na yung best sa location ko eh. Wala akong magagawa doon. So at least kayo ganun din dapat. We have to use your university logo as background, virtual background. GIFs are not allowed. Mute your microphone when you are not talking. You can unmute your microphone only if you are to recite, raise some question or clarification. Avoid any offensive word. Otherwise, you can be subject for filing of appropriate charges. Ano ba yung mga offensive words? Alam nyo na yan. Especially, mga sexually offensive words din sa mga classmates nyo. You are not allowed to spread rumor against your classmate or any person. Okay? You can be held liable for pagka pinost nyo on social media, cyber libel. Pagka sinabi nyo, nilagay nyo to writing, libel. That's defamation. Yan. So, stay focused and be aware of your surroundings. So, you have to stay focused, especially in online classes. And you should also be aware of your surroundings. Baka sa sobrang focus nyo, hindi nyo alam, nagigiba na pala yung bahay nyo. Landslide na pala, earthquake na pala, okay? So, you have to be aware of your surroundings. You are highly encouraged to stay seated with your table to take down notes and remain present throughout the discussion. So, permission to off-cam is usually not allowed. Okay? These are not allowed. You are highly encouraged to stay seated with your table and take down notes. Any form of video or voice recording of the discussion is prohibited and will be subjected to fines and penalties under the contemplation of RA 10173 or the Data Privacy Act of 2012. That consent must be made pertaining on the recording and taking pictures before doing so. Okay, so whenever you have the intention of taking a picture, video recording, screenshot recording, or voice recording, you have to seek first the permission of the party. Otherwise, you could be held liable for the violation of this law. Participants are encouraged to open their video cameras during the whole duration of the discussion, but must conform to House Rule number 6. What is House Rule number 6? You are highly encouraged to stay seated with your table to take down notes and remain present throughout the discussion. So, last but not the least, we have to follow the instruction that will be given by the host or by your instructor every before the start of the class. So, in short, never ever be late because most of the instructions are given the earliest before the start of the class proper. So UC is committed to creating a safe and inclusive environment for all of its students, may it be male, female, or LGBTQ. Gender-based sexual harassment, may it be in the classroom or online, are strictly prohibited. It includes acts that use information and communications technology to frighten victims through the following. Okay, so these are prohibited acts. Physical, psychological, and emotional threat. So you are not allowed to threaten your classmates physical, face-to-face, or through online. Any unwanted sexual, misogynistic, transphobic, homophobic, and sexist remarks and comments online, whether on public posts or through private messages. That's not allowed. Take note, ladies and gentlemen, that your screenshots can be used as evidence against you. These are considered as electronic evidence. Uh, Invasion of the victim's privacy through cyberstalking and incessant messaging is also not allowed. Recording or sharing any of the victim's photos, videos, information, or screenshot of private conversation without permission is a prohibited act. Impersonating victims' identities is likewise prohibited. So if you have an instructor with mannerism, o kaya meron siyang paborito word na sinasabi, tapos tinatali-tali nyo, at binibilang-bilang nyo, o kaya ginagaya-gaya nyo, that's impersonating, ha? Those are not allowed. It's a form of insult, okay? Hindi lang sa instructor, pati sa classmates nyo. Posting lies about victims to harm their reputation and filing false abuse reports to online platforms to silence victims will not be tolerated in our class and may be held liable under the Safe Spaces Act of or RA 11313. That's all, ladies and gentlemen, and hope to see you next week. By the way, you are required to, yes, through our group chat, you are required to submit a picture of your notes taken related to our discussion this day, related on the syllabus which we had just discussed. So you will earn for that. That will be your first point entry under your class standing. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much and goodbye.